Hey, Andy here from builderhottub.com. In this video, we're going to look at the best way to heat your hot tub. Let's go ahead and take a look. Whether you're building your own hot tub or whether you already have one, there's lots of different ways that you can potentially heat the tub. So in this video, we're going to explore all of the different options and try and come to some kind of a conclusion at the end of which is the best option. So let's start with electric. Electric is by far the easiest in terms of plumbing and connecting the heater to your hot tub. The downside of electric is it's expensive. It's slow, so you're not going to have an impromptu hot tub session. If your water's cold, you can't just turn an electric heater on and expect your hot tub to be roasting hot in a couple of hours. It doesn't work like that. It's much slower. Okay. You're also going to need, if you want to increase the speed, a huge amount of electricity in terms of the kind of size. A regular heater is somewhere between 3 to 5 kilowatts. If you really want to increase the speed, you're going to need 15 to 20 kilowatts to heat up a really good sized hot tub quite quickly. So it's a huge amount of power, and it is quite expensive, as we mentioned. So going from the most expensive way to heat your hot tub, let's look at a cheap way, solar power. So solar power, obviously, potentially there's a huge amount of free electricity to heat up your hot tub. Now the downside for solar is you do need a large amount of power, and that means a lot of panels. So you've got to have a big space to put them in. You've also got to be able to store that electricity. So if you think that obviously during the night you're not creating any kind of electricity, or certainly not in any volume, and if it's a cloudy day, you're not going to get the same amount of electricity generated by those panels. Also, if you live in a not so sunny climate, for example over here in the UK, it's not the best place in the world to be generating solar power. Certainly today it's absolutely chucking it down with rain, as I'm sure many of my viewers here that are based in the UK are quite used to. So solar is potentially a cheaper way of doing things. You need a large amount of kit, you need a large amount of storage in terms of batteries to actually harness and store that power. You've then got to have a good supply of sunlight, so it really depends on your location whether this is going to work for you as an option. Moving on and looking at propane. So propane heaters, really popular in the pool industry. It's also an option for the hot tubs. One of the huge benefits of propane is that it's really quick. It's by far the fastest method of heating up your hot tub. The heater that you will need is readily available. They're not complicated bits of kit. The downsides, you do need either a piping line for that propane, or you need quite a large tank on your property where you can store the gas. It doesn't use huge amounts of gas, and it will last quite a long time depending on how big obviously the tank is and how much you use it, but you do need either a plumbed in supply or a tank to be able to deliver the propane to the heater. Similar to propane is natural gas. Now natural gas is cheaper than propane, but likewise you do need to have a supply of it. So you've got to have that plumbed in if you're going to use natural gas as a means of heating your tub. Like propane, it's also super quick to heat that water, so it's a really good option if you're looking for occasional use. You don't want to hold the water at a temperature all the time. Okay, so natural gas, it's super quick, but again you're going to need a plumbed in supply, and it's also cheaper than propane. A really popular method at the moment for heating hot tubs is air source heat pumps. In its most basic form, an air source heat pump harnesses the heat from the air. It then takes it from the air through an exchanger and puts it into the water. Again, I'm simplifying things hugely here, but that's essentially how they work. and depending on the size of the air source heat pump, it will heat the hot tub really quickly as well. The brand that I tend to supply over here in Europe is actually certified to heat from cold in under 5 hours, which is really great for the likes of caravan parks and holiday lets and holiday homes, where the turnover of guests and they need to actually drop the water, refill it and heat it up again for the next guest. So air source heat pumps, super efficient. Really quick as well, obviously not as quick as propane or natural gas, but as a trade-off, air source heat pumps are pretty cool. Now, the downside to air source heat pumps is they are expensive pieces of kit. You're looking at $3,000 or $4,000 pounds over here, or euros, for a really good quality heat pump. The efficiency is also affected on the ambient temperature. For example, in lower temperatures, some of the cheaper pumps don't work, or certainly don't work as well. So you've got to have a look at the temperature ratings, and you're also looking for a fully inverted motor as well. And what that means is, rather than a heat pump being on low, medium or high power, it can actually calculate that it needs maybe 22% of the power to actually heat at the most efficient way. So being fully inverted means that it can use every kind of increment from 0 to 100% of the pump's power. So that's something to look out for as well. So in conclusion, what is the best way to heat your hot tub? Well, it really depends. It depends on your location. It depends on your usage. It depends on how big your hot tub actually is. So really it's down to personal preference, how you're going to use the tub, how often you're going to need to heat it. Do you plan your sessions, or are they very impromptu? There's so many different variables. The different options that we've covered in this video are beneficial for different people. So it really does depend on you and your hot tub and your hot tub usage. Hope you found this video useful. See you on the next video. If you've liked this video, please do like, share and subscribe to the channel. See you on the next video.